So this was the last question that I wanted to talk about today, actually. We're way over time. We're only half an hour over time here, but that's okay. It's Friday. So the question here was from George Shade. And the question says, do you think that credit cards / developing a credit score is still a good idea? This would be used mostly for necessities while you stack sats. Thanks. So my perspective on that is that I've gone through a few different camps with that. I've gone from the side of like, okay, I don't care about my credit score. The banking system's going to implode. It's going to be completely irrelevant. I don't really care. I'm just going to rack things up. I've been in that camp before. It's a bad place to be. I'm not going to lie. Because things never happen on your timeline. So I know that you think that it might be a good idea to take out a line of credit or a credit card and buy some Bitcoin and wait for it to go up and then pay it off and have some extra there. Oh, Arnie, the magpies are yapping at Arnie. But it's not, because nothing happens on your timeline. So that's how people get wrecked. That's how people lose their shirt, their houses, their relationships, is by doing dumb shit like that. So that's the first thing I'd say. But I do think that there's a time and a place for it as well. I do think that there's a responsible level of debt that you should be taking on to buy Bitcoin right now. Because if you look at it two different ways, if you can afford to wait out the market for a few years, not a few days or months, but a few years, because you look at the average return on Bitcoin, and that's historically, I think that it's actually going to be a lot more than it has been in the future. But if you look at the average return of Bitcoin being 150% annually average, and you look at what it costs to take on debt, even the credit card, 20%, but that compounds fast as well. So I would stay away from credit card debt in terms of like buying Bitcoin and taking on unnecessary risk. But a line of credit, let's say the interest rate's 6-7% on there. So you're paying 6%. Your Bitcoin's earning an average of 150. It could be less. It could go down. So that's why you have to wait out a couple of years. You have to be in a position where you can wait a couple of years. But that's a big spread there. Very simple spread. 6% you're paying, 150% average you're making. That's a pretty good spread. So a responsible amount of debt is good. But the other part there too, and I actually heard this on What Bitcoin Did the other day. Peter was talking about this. And he said that his son sold his car. He was going on a trip. So he sold his car, bought Bitcoin. Price of Bitcoin went up, probably doubled whatever it's been in the last year. And he went back to his dad, Peter, and said, I want to sell this Bitcoin, get a nicer car. And Peter said, which I agree with this strategy, going back to this one as well. What's going on here? Arnie's chasing magpies from inside the house. I'm going to have to go let him out right away. But the strategy there, as Jaya says, is don't sell your Bitcoin, borrow against it. So instead of taking your Bitcoin and selling it, what you're actually going to do is you're going to go to the bank, you're going to take on a loan, and you just simply shave off some of your Bitcoin as needed. So you can either pay, if you got some extra cash, you can pay down your loan with that, or you can shave off some of your Bitcoin. That's the strategy though. The strategy is not going and selling your Bitcoin, paying cash for your car. That's a stupid strategy. Keep your Bitcoin, shave it off as needed, make your loan payments, and gradually over the term of that loan, the purchasing power of Bitcoin should go up over time. So there you have it. What a good way to end the show today. Arnie's chasing birds. Okay, so Adrian got him. Attaboy. Love to see that.